Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. It's Carol here at Oak House Journals. I'm going to do assignment number 18 in the challenge being hosted by Margarete Miller, and it's her 2024 Collage Weekly Challenge. So the prompts are here and I've got my pieces off to one side to hit those prompts. So the first one, something that people collect. Well, Alice in Wonderland is very popular. There are all sorts of things that are collectibles under the Alice in Wonderland theme, from china to books to ephemera. So I've gone with Alice in Wonderland as something that people collect, and I've lifted out this image here. So tiny little image of Alice down there, and she's leaning against a daisy here, as you can see, and that will hit one of my other prompts. Now I'm a little bit concerned that this might be too small, this image, so I have lifted out a slightly larger one, and I may well use that. The second one, a geometric shape with at least 5 sides. Well, I made these hexagons a while ago and they've been in my craft stash for a while. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get these to work in with my overall theme, but if I can't, then what I will do is use one of these little ones here as a template and perhaps cut out some text in a hexagon shape and use that. Initially I want to see if I can try and get one of these to work behind my my image. Obviously if I go with the flower image of Alice, that's the one I'm going to have to use, whereas if I go with the flamingo image, because of the pink in it, then I've got pink in either of these that I can use. The next prompt is something featuring a clock or time related element. I've gone for another Alice in Wonderland character. I've gone for the white rabbit, and in terms of a time related element, he's got a pocket watch in his hand there. Text in a foreign language. I thought I might use this. Now this is some Oriental or Asian temple paper. It is doubled over. I'm not sure if I can open it out. There we go. And I thought it might be nice if I turn it around to use that piece. And it comes out of this vintage book, which I was given a couple of Christmases back. So as you can see, there's lots of little pieces in here. But as I say, that's the piece I thought I would use. And again, if I go with this image of Alice, I've got pinky reds that will pick up that. The other option I've got is this book, and I use this all the time. And I was wondering whether one of these pages might work. And the reason I'm leaning towards these is because of this pop of colour up here. And if I use this image, then obviously it will work well with the flower. The next one is something with a spine. And again, I'm going for another character out of Alice in Wonderland. And I'm going for the rat. And I hope, against hope, that I'm not setting myself up for a fail here by using just characters out of Alice in Wonderland. It might be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see how we go. The next prompt was, or the bonus prompt was, a flower, and as I've mentioned, I've got a flower in this image. So normally I don't double up my prompts. I do try and use all of them, including the bonus prompt, but I am going to today if I end up using this image. If I use the flamingo image, then obviously I'll cut that out and I'll use it on its own. I've got my background paper here with the border all marked round, and I've also lifted out this piece of paper. Don't know if I'm going to use it or not. Don't know where I'm going at all with this one today. I'm just going to feel my way through it and see how I get on. Okay, so as always, I'm going to put my prompts ahead of me. I hope that the sunlight coming through the window from the garden in front of me isn't going to cause you too much inconvenience. It's too much of a lovely day to shut out the sunshine. So let's see what I can do with these pieces. I'm going to try and work with this text initially. Take out this page. I'm going to take out this page as well. I'm wondering about having a background. I really do feel that this might all be too neutral, so I'm thinking that I might need to do something like that. And I am initially going to try and work with this image of Alice. I'm going to trim this background piece down just to the size of my working area. I'm going to cut this one down as well. Take this bit off the bottom here, and initially I'm just going to tear it. I'm lining up that line with the bottom down here. Have that potentially like that. This one's out of place and I'm going to really struggle to get it in, so I'm going to have to find something that will hit the prompt for something with a spine. I'm going to bring this one in. If I use this for my background, then I don't need that pop of colour. Let me just change this out and see what this looks like. That looks a bit busy to me. I've more or less committed to going with yellowy tones and using this image rather than this one. I'm liking the crispness of this, if I'm honest, which means that I don't think this would work. It's quite rustic. I think it would spoil it. Let me just pop it behind so I can show you. It does give a nice contrast, but I'm actually liking the clean lines, so I'm going to go with my gut instinct and I'm going to use some of this text. And originally I thought that I could use a portion of this and just rip it and have a random piece in the background, and I can still do that, but I chopped a couple of lines off the bottom of here to have a look to see what that would look like. So here's my couple of lines, and I'm just going to slide this underneath. It's not very long. Originally I wanted to line up this line underneath the white rabbit with that line, but it's not going to work and it actually looks too closed in, so I think it works better having that drop down. And yes, they are clean lines in terms of everything is cut except for this, so I might actually go in and cut that. So before I go any further, I'm just going to cut across the top there. Slide that in something like that. But I am wondering whether one of these might work down in this bottom corner. Could work in here. Let's just slide it in first off and see. Nope. I could bring everything down. No, that's not going to work. So this is the little one. It's got green on the reverse and I wouldn't use that, but let's have a look. As you can see, I've done a little bit of playing here. I took that larger sheet of the book page and I've ripped it. I'm liking this better. It means that I can drop this white rabbit further down my page. I've also cut out, as you can see, one of these, and I've just used it down here to break up the images. I will tear away a little bit more of this background text paper here, I think, but I'm more or less liking that. So I'm going to glue this in place and worry about the rest of it in a moment or two, because I haven't got my hexagon in. I used the rest of this image to cut a hexagon out, thinking that I might be able to back one of these pieces, something like that, and it's not going to work. Then I roughly chopped out a smaller piece, thinking that maybe I could have it up here, and that is actually where I think I might have it. Now this isn't a true hexagon, I need to cut a better one, but I'll do that in a moment. And then I need to get on here something with a spine, and the only thing I can think of really to tie in with everything is a bird or a bird image, maybe a sticker or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with what I've got, what I know for now, and I'm just going to glue these pieces in place. So those pieces are all glued in place. I think I will try and rip that a little bit more evenly here. So I need to get in a hexagon, so I need to go away and cut one that is going to be the right size. So please bear with me, I'm going to go away and do that and then I will come back. Unfortunately, I lost a little bit of recording footage, so to bring you up to speed, I created a hexagon by gluing together two of those semicircles and then cutting a hexagon shape, and I popped one behind a stamp of a bird in that top left hand corner. And then in amongst my stash I found this die cut flower which has been glazed with some glossy accents, and I've just glued that on my piece to add a little bit more interest. And then as you can see here, I'm just going in with some art glitter glue to glue those pieces to that coloured background piece. When I was gluing the flowers down, unfortunately they touched my background piece, so I know that the glue will mark on the background, so I've actually had to glue it fairly low down on my piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim away a portion at the top there so that I've got more or less the same amount top and bottom. So there we go, everybody, that's my piece all glued down onto my background. I did trim this background a little bit just so that it was more in proportion, and I have this little hexagon left on my desk, and rather than throw it out, I am going to use it because this one is hidden. You can't really tell that it's a hexagon at all, so if I put that little one on there, it blends in perfectly, I think. Just going to glue that one on there like that. And there we go, all done and dusted. So my prompts are something that people collect, well, anything to do with Alice in Wonderland, ephemera, cutlery, playing cards, china, crockery. So I've got an image of Alice in Wonderland down there, a geometric shape with at least 5 sides, which is what I was prattling on about just a moment ago. So I've got my little hexagon there, and I've got another one tucked away underneath there, but at least all my sides are showing on that one. Something featuring a clock or time related element. Well, I've gone with the white rabbit down here, which is synonymous with Alice in Wonderland, and he's got a pocket watch, which is time related. Text in a foreign language, I've got my Asian book page in the background there, I've got some more there and some more there. Something with a spine, well, I've had to go with a bird, my little rat out of Alice in Wonderland. I just couldn't get it to work on my page, so I'm happy with my bird. And finally, the bonus is a flower. Well, as you know, I've got a flower in the background here, but also I've got this little one down here so that I wasn't doubling up on my prompts. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too painful seeing me try and figure this one out. So as always, I'll do some photos at the end. Hope you have a great week. Happy crafting, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.